welcome to Beyond the Dirt podcast. We've got a big weekend coming up this weekend, so I've invited some people you're going to meet this weekend at the tractor show we've been talking about for weeks. So just get to it. Our first guest is probably the most important person at Happy Jack's. It's AKA Sweet Tater. Some know her as Sarah. And Sweet Tater is the head chef at Happy Jack's. So let's talk about the food they're going to expect this weekend.
Okay, so we got barbecue, we got burgers, we got Reubens, we got almost all of our meat is smoked by our two little hands. We've got homemade French fries, mushrooms, which I will put our fried mushrooms up against anybody in Southeast Kansas. Will do.
I love mushrooms. I haven't had them yet.
Oh, you need to.
Okay.
You need to. They are top notch.
I love mushrooms.
In fact, today our special, you can experience different foods. Today our lunch special was a tri-tip bowl where we had I made ranch mashed potatoes, and then we did our tri-tip with our homemade barbecue sauce and cheddar cheese on top of that, or you could do it with our macaroni and cheese, which is really, really good. So.
Awesome blackberry cobbler too.
Oh yes. Now the cobbler, I cannot take credit for that, but it is some of the best cobbler. We've got blackberry, peach, apple. Yeah.
I ate here for lunch today, and I took my blackberry cobbler with me because I couldn't finish my lunch. And I ate it.
Galen says that a lot, by the way.
I went to the cemetery this afternoon, and I had it for a snack, so it was pretty good. While we're on here, a few questions came up. A little history about Sweet Tater. How did you get that name, Sweet Tater?
Oh, okay. So my husband, our oldest daughter, actually, together, her nickname was Sweet Tater. Yeah, her name was Taylor, but we always just called her Sweet Tater. And so when I left the grocery store, and I'm like, we got to do something. I'm like, let's start a restaurant. So that was always going to be the name.
Sweet Tater.
Yep.
And you cooked across the road.
Yep, we did. We were at the VFW for a little bit.
And the kitchen, the state shut the kitchen down?
No, not the state.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not the state. Just reclusing and rumors about that. It was not the state. We were not shut down by the state. The VFW just didn't want to play with us anymore, which was their prerogative. It was completely fine. But
and this was a God-given deal.
It was because I went home, I licked my wounds, cried a little bit because you don't want to ever go out there first beginning and then just like fail, But then Jack Johnson got a hold of us, and it was like, let's give that a shot, And he agreed to have part of the Sweet Taters logo on there and our food and which I really think collaborates very well with the venue and the stuff that's going on here with the cars and the truck.
Yeah. Awesome place if you've never been here. Awesome place.
Absolutely.
Well, we talk about anything else?
Well, let's see, this Saturday, you're going to see ribs. You are going to see burgers. You're going to see the fried foods going. We're going to have ribs. And if you don't see it on the menu, and if you don't hear about it word of mouth, just please don't hesitate. Come up to the trailer first. Come see us first. Place your order. We'll take your money. Wherever you want to go, we're going to find you. So.
And another thing is tri-rib on the...
Tri-tip?
Tri-tip?
On the menu constant.
Oh man, that's my favorite sandwich. I highly recommend the tri-tip sandwich.
Oh yes.
Or tri-rib.
Tri-tip. It's part of the beef. Part of the beef. We smoke it with a special blend of spices, and then we grill it up, put cheese and condiments to the side. Cheese of your choice, so you don't have to have. I prefer pepper jack myself. So.
I know I got several tractor pullers coming, and you know who you are out there if you watch this. The question was, I had a question. They asked me, when are you going to stop serving breakfast? Saturday.
When they stop ordering it.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, when they stop ordering.
Me and Bernie's been bragging on your burrito.
Oh my goodness,
And
that
my wife,
breakfast burrito.
the camera lady even likes your burrito. So,
That breakfast burrito, I'm gonna tell you what, you've been to Sonic, you've been to McDonald's, you ain't been here.
you
ain't been
haven't
here.
been anywhere.
You gotta
Yeah.
try this
Yeah,
breakfast
yes.
burrito.
It's awesome.
Hand grilled, everything. Like, we don't just throw a bunch of crap and wrap it up and it's not just pre-made. No, we cook it, we wrap it, cheese of your choice, like all of it.
Best biscuits in town too. Great.
Biggest.
Yeah, big, and more you'll find.
With the
more.
most sausage you will find anywhere in Kansas. The whole Kansas, not just southeast Kansas, all of Kansas.
Very good, very good. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna get old Jack on here for his.
All
first
right,
time.
well, thank you so much, Katie.
Well, everybody say hi to Sarah when we come Saturday, and make sure you order your food from Sarah. And like she said, she will find you.
I will find you. I may give you a number, but I will find you. Y'all have a great night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Kim.
Hey, for the first time ever, we're back to the podcast Beyond the Dirt, but the first time ever, we got the one and only Happy Jack here sitting on the podcast. A lot of people want to know who is Happy Jack. So just tell everybody who Happy Jack is.
I'm Jack Johnson. Plain and simple.
Plain
Born
and
and
simple.
raised.
That's right. A lot of people knew you raced. A lot of people that watches this podcast don't know anything about it. So tell people about what you used to do, your race days, and all that stuff.
Well, I grew up, first time I can remember a car running, I was probably 4 years old, and I decided then, someday I was going to be there. I sat in race cars as a little kid, dreamed about being there, and my mom and dad said I was going to move out of the house before I had one. So I got married, moved out of the house, and started building race cars.
You still got your first car you bought.
I still, well, not my first car, but the first new car I ever bought. 69 Plymouth Roadrunner, 31,000 actual miles on it.
And it's just like new.
All original.
It's just like ain't a scratch on it.
I even let Carla drive it and never got a scratch on it.
Cool. You run race cars. Tell the viewers what you drove back then.
Well, we started out with super stock cars, 65 Plymouth, world record holder with that car right off the bat. We went to a 68 Roadrunner that had only 3,000 miles on it when we turned it into a race car, which Mopar enthusiasts should probably kill me over, because we cut the floor pans out of it, put big slicks on it, did all the things to it, but it became a world record holder, and eventually got bored with full-bodied cars. Thought I'd quit for a while. We got into dune buggies and started climbing chat piles down here at Cardin, Oklahoma. And I got this neat feeling with tubing all around me, how cool it was. And my wife and I had been at Mocan when we saw an accident. The driver was injured, and she made me promise I'd never race a car, a dragster, or anything like that. And after sitting in this tubing and daydreaming about what it'd be like to sit in a car with tubing, I broke the news to her that we were going to go on vacation and I was going to be looking for a dragster. And so we spent our whole vacation going out to Colorado and back looking for dragsters, and ended up buying one in Carthage, Missouri. And we brought the car home, reworked it, and right off the bat, it was a winner. We raced the AHRA with it. It was #1 qualifier almost every event we went to.
Of course, I know it, and I've seen your plaques and stuff in your shop and stuff. I've known you for a long time. What's probably one of the biggest races you ever won?
Well, financially, one of the biggest ones we've ever won was down in Arkansas, Centerville, Arkansas. It was one of those hillbilly races, so to speak. You just go in there, throw all your money in a pot, and whoever wins walks away with cash. And we did well. We won both races 1 year down there, Memorial Day and Labor Day. And then we went to a big race in Atlanta, which was a $50,000 win bracket race. And we thought we had that one wrapped up and had a little malfunction and realized that having all this nitrous and all this trick stuff on a car was not the way to go, so we decided to build a car with a lot of motor instead of all the trick gimmicks. And that's what got us into the real serious racing now.
Okay, so what we're here for tonight, been talking about it for weeks. Me and you kind of partnershiped on with this podcast. That's a partnership we had. Start the podcast and stuff, and you got the restaurant. And tell people kind of what's going on here, because I've had a lot of questions from the tractor folks.
The restaurant idea was, I love motorsports. I don't care what it is, if it's a tractor or I don't care what it is, a go-kart, anything. And I wanted a place where people could come and look at stuff. You know, we've had street rods in here. We've had drag cars in here. We've had the mini rods in here. Next month I plan on having a really nice Chevrolet collection from a local farmer here. Cars have been my whole life. In a place where people can come and look at artifacts. COVID about killed my wife. I decided I wouldn't wait anymore. I wanted a place where people could come and just see. If they think it's junk, it's junk. And if they like old cars and like stuff, then they'll enjoy it.
Let's break for a commercial. We'll come back and talk about the big weekend we got planned.
While you're here at Happy Jack's enjoying the food, come on inside and check out the automotive memorabilia we have, and along with my new oil tanker. Come on by and see us.
Okay, this weekend, I've been talking about it for weeks, about the car show and truck show and the tractor show that we're having here at Happy Jack's Motorsports Museum and Happy Jack's Food. Just tell the people what the benefits for.
Well, the benefits for Dream Big Little Ones. It's a charity here in town that takes care of foster children when they're pulled out of a house and moved. Sometimes they go without bedding, without pillows, and we're lucky enough we have a foster child in our family and realize how important these little minor things are to these children. So we chose them as our charity. There's no entry fee to this car show or to this show, and all we ask is people donate, whether it's $1 or $10 or whatever they can afford. Donate to Dream Big Little Ones and help them out.
And I've told all my tractor guys too that when they sign up, that, you know, I'd appreciate if they'd give a little bit, you know, when they sign up. So what we're talking about sign-ups, let's talk about sign-ups. So we talked about this morning on the cards and stuff. So where the register table is going to be.
The registration table will probably be inside in the hallway here between the two buildings. Come in and register your vehicle. We'll assign you a number. Nice big green poster, so if your vehicle is yellow, it may not look good on it or what. Well, I look like John Deere, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would fit right in the pull tractor.
Bernie ain't gonna like that.
Come in, register. We'll have a card for you. Take that out to your vehicle because that way people can know what your number is, so they can vote for your tractor or your car or whatever you're going to have here for the show.
Now I know that I got 10 awards for the tractors. You got awards for the cars.
Got, I think there's 8 awards for cars.
And you said you had one maybe for a tractor or something the other day. Maybe I misunderstood or something.
I don't remember what we talked about.
Okay.
We will have plenty of stuff here and a lot of excitement.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about, and I'll talk about the parking. We were talking about the awards sign up. How's everybody going to know when they win? What time? When we go, we're going to have a panel. I know we ain't going to have nothing to do with judging it.
Nope. We'll have judges here, and I think we're probably going to hand out ballots and let the people vote themselves on which one the participants will be able to vote on which vehicle they think is worthy of the prize. We plan on announcing that at around 2 o'clock, so that if you have somewhere else you want to go that evening, something else you want to do, we're not holding you up.
Yeah. I told everybody the tractor guys would dismiss them around 2:30.
Okay.
So
our first set of music with our entertainer will be from 11 to 1, I believe it is. So as soon as she's done and we have a few minutes together, our thoughts and everything, then we'll go ahead and announce the winners.
Let's talk about what kind of music it is.
Country music.
Country music, there you go.
Young lady, Natalie Krauser, and oh my goodness, he's going to kill me because I can't remember his name. Bush.
Yeah. There you go.
They're traveling throughout the United States. They're contemporary country. Natalie writes a lot of their music. They're an up-and-coming group.
Open for Terry Clark.
Open for Terry Clark recently in Colorado Springs.
So be pretty good music. I had some questions. Some of the guys wanted to know about sun sitting outside, if they could bring their little tents. I don't know.
Traditionally around car shows, we don't like to have tents in case the wind comes.
I know there's a porch along the front and the shade, and where the tractor is going to be, there's shade on the north side of the building. So
Correct.
I don't really think you need a tent. Prefer not a tent because there ain't that much room. I mean, there's room, but we're gonna make room. But just bring your lawn chairs. We'll find you a shady spot. I know the north side of the building stays shaded all day. So
This is a work in progress. To tell you the truth, we don't know exactly what we're doing because where we wanted to put the stage is also the area where most people will come and park and want to come in and eat.
yeah,
So, you know, we didn't think it through completely. So, and you're the one that has to run all the electricity, so we'll have to
that's
figure
true.
this all out.
Yeah.
But hopefully, between 11 and 1, we'll be able to get a lot of people crammed in. If they want to bring their lawn chairs, sit down. I don't think it's going to be a real hot day. Doesn't sound like it's going to rain, so it'll be a good day to enjoy
well, if
ourselves.
it does rain, I think it's going to be out here before 11 o'clock, according to our local channel.
Good.
So we're going to talk about parking while we're on that subject. If you're bringing a tractor, I don't know about the car deal. I'm not the car man. If you're bringing a tractor, most of you've got my phone number or something. You'll come south of what's north of McDonald's, Jay Hatfield's parking lot on the south end. We'll unload, and then right around the corner, you'll take the street, and we'll probably park you at a church parking lot right behind the building here, or I think we're going to get permission down the street. We'll have 2 places to park, and I will come pick you up on a side-to-side, or somebody will pick you up on a side-to-side. So don't worry about if you're crippled a little bit, can't walk far. I'll make sure you get back to your lawn chair at the facility where your tractor's at. So we'll do that. I think we're pretty well covered it all. We've talked about the benefit and the awards and sign up. So looking forward for a good time.
I think we're going to have a great time.
Yeah. So I think we'll have pretty good turnout for tractors too. I've got a lot of phone calls.
Good, good.
A lot of phone calls. Everybody says you need a tractor to have a pull, but that's kind of hard. We could pull on pavement if we have to.
Well, you know, we've seen some of this on YouTube pulling
Yeah.
on pavement.
Yeah.
It looks like it's kind of
Now,
on finals and stuff.
According to Albert Tosnick, he was one of my guests, one of my first guests on the podcast. He said back in the 1969, they pulled on the pavement, had a plywood bottom on the sled, and he took it so fast it caught on fire.
Yeah, Albert. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Albert, if you're listening to this, I don't buy that for a minute.
Okay, we're going to break for another commercial break, and I'm going to come back and I want to talk about the 2023 pulling season.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome you to Happy Jack's Foods, home of Beyond the Dirt Pulling Podcast. Come and see us, try out our good food.
2023 pulling season. Had some questions. There really ain't no questions. Nothing's really changed that much. The garden tractors on the rules, there's still some discussion. Guys, all it is stock class. You can't be over 4,250 RPMs, and that class has to be governed. So it wasn't me that made the decision. Well, I was in on it, but there were several of us that sat down and made that decision to make it more fair with the people. You know, some of the people just want to come and have a good time instead of out for blood. So stock classes are 4,250 RPM, and we got an RPM gun to check them all, and with a working governor. So that's stock class. Super stock class is open RPM, pulling gears, just like it was last year. If a tractor's been stretched, modified, altered, you know, the frame altered and it's not stock, well, that's when it gets to stock altered. So that's kind of some of the questions that we've had a few phone calls about, but nothing's really changed other than the stock class is 4250, under 4250 RPM and a working governor. So pretty well clears that up. Our first tractor pull, garden tractor pull, is going to be May 13th at 1 o'clock in Columbus, Kansas. And a lot of people said, well, why are you going to have it May 13th? Well, I'm just going to explain something here. We use the rodeo grounds, the property at the American Legion of the Fairgrounds, and Columbus has got a new ordinance, and it went into effect during COVID. And last year, as some of you know, we had to schedule our pools on a schedule. They have to be on a schedule for the noise ordinance. So our first pool, garden tractor pool, is May 13th. The May 13th pool, we're going to have everybody line up as you cross the scales. We'll check that day. We're going to have some help there. We'll check the RPMs. Everybody's going to get a number to put on the side of your tractor. They're sticky numbers, so everybody's going to be identified for the year. So that way, if, say the sled operator sees, say the first class would be 100s. If there's a 300 number tractor and lined up in the 100 class, something's wrong. So that's kind of why we're doing it. Kind of like, I wasn't around at the time, but it's kind of like what they started out doing when they started pulling with the numbering system. So basically pretty simple. Your tractor's going to be identified by number after it gets inspected by whoever, Bernie or there'll be a crew of them doing it. So we'll get that done. Antique pool. Our first antique pool in Columbus, Kansas will be May the 20th at 1 p.m. So for you antique pullers, May 20th, and I will have schedules here Saturday for some of them, and I will have copies of rules to pass out for some of you. If you wanted me to mail them, I'll just wait and get them to you Saturday because I know you're coming. So another thing is why. The other day I posted on Facebook about the pools that was handwritten. I hadn't typed it up yet, and I was getting comments or texts saying, hey, what happened to MEDOC? What happened to this place? Hey, what happened to that place? The ones you see on paper are the ones we have. So we don't know if MEDOC's having one. The MEDOC boys ain't contacted us yet, but they probably will. And it will be on the schedule later on in the year. When they figure out a date, we'll probably go to MEDOC. So I know how everybody is. Don't get excited. So we will probably have pools. We're probably not going to have Butterfield. We didn't hear nothing out of Butterfield on the garden tractor side. We picked up a couple more that want to have a pool, but they haven't got us a date yet. So 2 new places are pretty serious about having a pool pretty close by. So we'll let you know when that happens. So hope everybody comes out Saturday and have a good time here at Happy Jack's on the contest for the tractors. You know, just hang around, and the more BS you put on people, the more votes you'll get probably. So just share your knowledge with people. People's going to come look at your rides, and it's just a good time. Good music coming. So come out and fellowship with us, and we'll see you Saturday, and keep it between the lines.